Good day.
Hello, sir.
Good day. Welcome back to Marco Pierre White's Marco's private
Swansea.
room. Swansea.
Yeah. Marco Swansea.
What episode?
7?
7.
I want to say 7.
7.
7!
Seven.
No, I was doing a Strictly reference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
Do
don't
you
know.
watch Strictly?
No. We can talk about reality TV show today.
Maybe you can't talk about all.
Roll the tiles. So Carl, it's episode number 7.
Episode 7, mate. It's
I know.
flying by.
It is flying by.
7 weeks in.
7 whole weeks. Imagine what you could do
Jeepers.
in 7 weeks. You could learn Italian.
Yeah.
You could,
French. Vive la France.
yeah, that too.
That's a little reference for last week.
Always bringing back the reoccurring gags.
Yep.
So, week number 7.
Yes, but I want to start off, before we kick into week number 7, you started telling a story last week about sleepwalking. And I would really, really, really like the people at home, and me, because I don't know the end of it, as to your naughty sleepwalking story.
So, okay. We've trailed it too long now for me to not
Kick
do
in.
it.
Tell us,
So,
my friend.
I'd mentioned that I woke up in the night.
Do you still sleep?
No.
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 What happened?
Actually, I don't know. I think I did the other day.
Brilliant.
I rang you and said, I think I've done it again.
I think I must.
It's
I
difficult
don't
when
know. I'm asleep at the time.
I live alone.
Alexa, was I sleepwalking tonight?
Right, I'm not having a relationship
You're
with
having
my
an
Amazon
affair.
Echo.
You're having an affair with Alexa behind Siri's back.
Phenomenal. Anyway, when I said last week, I'd sleepwalked a couple of times.
Yeah.
One of the times I woke up with a handful of fuses in my hand in someone's kitchen. Second time, or many times I did this, I hid
Your money.
my gig money when I used to work in pubs.
Remember when you used to have money?
Remember when you used to have gigs? Oh no, they've all gone. Yeah.
Okay.
So I did that, and
What was the third and final thing you used to do, little Tommy Vaughan?
okay, so I'm gonna for her benefit, I'm not gonna say her name.
Alexa.
It wasn't Alexa, but for this purpose, fine, Alexa. Same house where I'd ripped all the fuses out.
Okay.
The first time I did that, they got quite worried.
Yeah, of course.
So
Why wouldn't you?
I was
Nothing
sort of barricaded into the room that I was sleeping in, so that if I were to sort of open the door, things would fall down and people would wake up and go, "He's at it again."
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Little bell on the door.
That's it, yeah. On this occasion, I got up. I walked from my room into the room of the girl whose house I was in. And I did a wee-wee on her while she was in bed. And this is how lovely she was as a person. She didn't wake me up. She waited till the morning. And in the morning...
She was awake?
I think me weeing on her woke her up. But yeah, I did a...
Oh, Tom, that could have gone anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, literally, but
and it did.
the story could have gone anywhere.
So-
and it went... I just didn't see it going there, mate.
Did a wee on her head.
Wow,
It wasn't on her head.
mate.
So she leaves it till the morning.
Yeah.
And obviously she comes in and says, "You've done this."
Yeah.
And initially I was like, "I haven't."
Yeah.
And then you can see, if you've weed on someone's head, you can see
weirdly, I haven't.
if you have, and you don't know you've done it, there's a look in their eyes that says...
Disgust.
That says, "I'm not making this up for fun.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this to make you feel embarrassed. You've done something really bad." And obviously I was so apologetic. I stripped her bed down and washed all the stuff, and you know what I mean? And to this day I apologise for it. But
They did barricade you in.
yeah, it's kind of their own fault, isn't it? But I'd like to...
That's how I would have got out
I'd
of
like
it.
to say, obviously, I'm going to. My apologies go out to
Siri.
and it's not fair for me to name the person whose head I weed on. So I'm very, very apologetic about that. And thankfully, I haven't done it since.
Your mum forgave you?
I haven't done it since. It wasn't my mum. If it was my mum, she'd have told everybody.
Oh,
It would
really?
have got. You know what he did? He bloody on me. No, she would have told everybody. It wasn't my mum. It was a young girl who was lovely enough to let me stay at her house in the spare room, and she shall remain nameless.
Fair enough.
So I've talked about the first time I
weed on someone.
weed on somebody.
I can't weigh in on that conversation because
feels like
I've
a
never
really-
done that.
Really natural transition into first times. First times.
Good. Well done, sir. That
Life
was very
is
good.
made up of lots and lots and lots of different first times.
Yeah. I wrote down a couple of things I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
First time you became a semi-professional footballer. That never happened.
Right. There's two sports that I used to play
Yeah.
at a semi-professional level.
They
Number
see
one,
you right,
number
yeah.
one was I was a footballer.
Okay.
I tell people I was a footballer.
Were you in Footballers' Wives or something? And you just
I did
got
want to be in that show.
confused?
I did want to be in that show.
You just got confused that...
I played Sunday League.
Right.
And
Is
I
that
was
semi-professional?
yeah.
Do you get paid for it?
Yeah.
No. Brilliant. Okay, go on.
I played for my local pub team.
Okay.
And
What was the name of that?
the Lamb and Flag.
FC.
Yeah. And I
This
wasn't.
sounds like a made-up story,
No, I
but go
wasn't.
on.
I wasn't. It's all of it, honestly.
Where were you left back in the changing room?
I was terrible, and I was on the bench, and they used to bring me on as like an impact sub. Only I didn't have any impact.
I support the ref.
But I didn't actually understand the rules at all because
Brilliant.
there's a way you have to do a throw in.
Yeah.
I did it 3 times wrong, got a yellow card, and then the throw in got awarded to the other team. I just thought you throw the ball in. Yeah,
Like basketball.
I was awful. And I played darts as well.
Oh, okay.
Loved a bit of darts.
Yeah.
Do
Do you have a nickname?
Yeah,
What was it?
Arrows.
Arrows. Harrows.
I thought my nickname was Arrows,
But it was Harris.
but apparently that's just something that people shout after you finish throwing darts.
Oh, right.
They'll
okay.
go, "Oh, Arrows," and I
If
thought
you
that was
throw
my nickname.
bad darts.
It wasn't my nickname. I played one game. Again,
Yeah.
I was reserve for a different pub, and I went with them to their match. We just travelled to another pub, and as I was reserved for this team,
Yeah.
all I did was I'd go with them to all the different pubs. I'd have a few beers. They'd play darts. I'd have the sandwiches that the other pub had laid on,
Yeah.
and then we'd come back. I'd never play. That was the point of it.
Right.
A brilliant, brilliant thing. I'll move on to when I was a hurdler. You're going to love that one.
A hurdler.
Yeah. Absolutely great. First time I ran the hurdles. It's first times. It's fine. So I went
Like
to this
Colin
darts.
Jackson.
Yeah, just like Colin Jackson.
Wasn't he?
Now who's
was he
old? Yeah, he was the hurdler. Yeah.
He's Welsh, that's why I know.
Is he?
Yeah.
Should have brought him out when we were doing England versus Wales.
Oh, yeah.
but-
Something else we've got that you haven't got. Colin Jackson.
So I'm playing darts.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not playing darts. I'm a reserve.
Yeah.
That's the brilliance of it. Free trip to another pub. Beers, sandwiches, home.
You make it sound like a trip to another pub is a treat.
I was
You can
17
go
or
to
18.
any
It was
pub you
great.
want.
I was 18 because I was drinking.
Right.
And it was great. And I never played. And I just went, and it was brilliant.
Okay.
And then we turned up one day, and we were like a team member down, and they were like, "All right, Tom, you're up." And I went,
Oh, no.
"And what?" They were like, "Go on, up to the hockey," which is
That
Okay.
dart
a bullseye.
talk.
Yeah, it's the line you stand at to throw the darts. And
Nothing
they
for two in a
stuck
bed.
me. Sorry,
Nothing for two in a bed. That's like that's an
Johnny
office
Baker.
reference, have you?
it's brilliant. Oh, it's a bit fuddy-duddy, isn't it? Darts. Couple of both old fogies.
Go on.
Anyway, so
Did you have like flights and stuff in your darts?
it's a dart, mate. It's a point with like a little
Yeah, like a flight, didn't it?
flighty end.
Yeah.
This is why I'm not a professional darts player.
Clearly, yeah.
So they went, "Right, Tom, you're up." And
Yeah.
I went, "Oh,
Aim for the 19s if you're not very good.
that is what they used to say.
Yeah.
Just after arrows.
Just after, why the did we get him on the team?
So here's the brilliance of the story. My brother is playing for the darts team as well,
Right.
and he's good.
Right.
I am not good, and I'm only there because it's free sandwiches. I'm 18. It's free sandwiches and a trip out.
And
So they call me up to the hockey to play darts.
Yeah.
I'm playing a county level player from the opposition team.
Okay.
As in he plays for the county.
I understood, yeah.
I
Thanks
beat-
for dumbing that down for me, but yeah.
I beat him.
What?
Yeah. I don't know how.
Right.
Everyone on my team was equally as shocked as I was.
Yeah.
And I walked back to my brother. I gave him his darts back that I'd used because they had better flights on than mine. And I said, I'll never
Flights on those.
play darts again.
And did you?
No. That's it.
Wow.
That's it. Never play. I just
So
thought...
first time you were a semi-professional dart player?
Jumped up, county level, beat him, and retired. Just thought, that's it, yeah. Undefeated.
Wow.
Undefeated. But just quickly, because I mentioned hurdles.
Oh, yeah.
When I was in high school...
High school?
Yeah.
Like you're some American kid.
It was high school. All right, secondary school.
Danny Zuko. Dong, 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 dong.
Incidentally, the Greece episode of Self-Isolation Saturday Night Takeaway still available.
Was I in Amit?
You weren't, no.
Oh,
you didn't
there's
want,
a surprise.
You didn't want to be. Greece week, mate. You went, I'm busy. I went, are you busy?
Got
you
that
went,
thing on, and
I'm doing
I'm in the middle. It's the middle of lockdown, and I got that thing with that person.
Doing some writing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in high school, great play.
Secondary school.
Okay, secondary school. I'm there, and every single person gets picked at like a sport level. They go, right, okay, what are you really good at? And all the lads want to play football. You got the people who are like the fast runners. You've got the people who throw that. What's that long pointy thing called? Javelin. And then what's that small disky thing called? Discus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's that ball? The shot put.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all picking the stuff that they're really good at.
We just had rugby, football, and cricket.
Yeah, I know. It was a weird little school I went to.
Was it private school? Did you go
No,
private
I didn't
school?
go private school.
You look like you went to private school.
I look like I went to private school.
Yeah, mate. You look like the type of kid that would have gone and smacked in my school. By me.
It wasn't private school. It was a Catholic school.
Oh, I went to Catholic school.
Yeah. It was pretty good because you could do some really bad and then just go, I'm going to go and pray.
But
and you sit in the prayer room and you get away with it.
Wow. Okay, go on. So
everyone picks the sports they're good at.
javelin.
I'm no good at any sports. Darts wasn't on offer, and I hadn't discovered my love. I hadn't discovered my love.
There was no the darts. I could have played darts, but there was no sandwiches or pints, so I was out.
Okay, guys, who's for rugby? That's brilliant. Okay, football. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, javelin, discus. Yeah, long distance running. Tom,
sir, I've got a quick question. Any sandwiches on offer?
So anyway, I, by process of elimination, was like, I'm going to pick something that we've got an absolutely awesome team for, where I'm never going to get used.
Netball.
No. I played netball for a while, kicked a ball through a window, smashed loads of glass.
You know that's
over.
not how you play netball.
So they're going around asking for all these sports. And I went, okay, we got a guy in our school they'd picked him. He was like going to be Olympic level for hurdles.
Right.
I don't think he ever made it. I think he got mixed up with some dodgy kids. But anyway, he was at this point.
Ended up on the darts team.
Ended up on the dart
County
web.
level.
And I beat him. But we had the guy in our team who was essentially pipped for the Olympics in hurdles. So I was like,
right, okay.
I'm going to pick hurdles because I know what this means is on like sports day or whatever it is, or county day where we go and do all the track and stuff, track and field, that means I can sit on the side.
Egg and spoon.
Smoking Benson and Hedges while he does the hurdles.
Oh.
And it worked for my entire time at secondary school until the year before I left.
Oh, and what
The
happened
year before
there?
I left, he had a cold or something like that. Couldn't do hurdles.
Had you tried the hurdles by this point?
No.
Because it's not
No.
just something
I'm
that
gonna-
you just fall into,
I'm
is
going to
it?
let you in on something, Carl.
Right.
They're f***ing higher than they look. They're higher than they look, right? So, at this point...
And you're short. So
not
they're really
short.
high. You're like, how am I going to do this?
So, at this point, I'd say about 15, 16, just about to leave secondary school. And I've worked out that I quite like drama. So, I've not done anything for years, apart from when they fire the starting gun, which back then, because it was a while ago, was an actual starter pistol. I just used to keep pretending I'd been shot. Get loads of laughs. Just for the laughs. Big laughs. Got big laughs, I did. Always
here he
impressed the
goes
girls.
again, every race.
But here's the thing. I am absolutely useless at running. If you've seen me run, like whenever I've been in a film.
Seen you trying to run a band. Pretty bad at that.
Whenever I run on anything in camera, if I've done a film before, they've used somebody else in my clothes.
Right.
As in, they've got not even a stuntman in. It's been
Just
too late
anyone.
in the day. They've just got the lighting guy to put on my jeans and run because I look like an idiot.
Right. What do you run like? I kind of want to see you run
Like
now.
a cow. My brother says I run like my legs don't belong to my body. Have you seen those crazy...
Mate, I feel like I get on with your brother much better than I get on with you.
Oh, you'd love him. You'd absolutely love him. He's just like you.
But funnier.
But have you seen them things outside...
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
outside garages where the air blows
Petrol
through them?
pumps.
Crazy inflatable arm flailing tube.
Oh,
men.
yeah.
They just wave their arms
You
around
get
like mad.
in America.
They're like my legs when I run.
Okay.
That's what it is. So I stood up. I was like, right, I've lived this life for long enough. I'm going to do the hurdles. And it was like the first heat or whatever it was. It was like 4 or 5 heats. The starter pistol went off. Couldn't use the normal gag of pretending to be shot.
That would have been the time to do it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine everybody else who's like going to the run is like, is he all right?
What's he done? Ran as fast as I could. I think it's something like 20, 25 metres, whatever it is, till the first hurdle. And I gave it everything to get over it. Straight into it, straight onto my face. Mouth full of sand, straight back up on my feet. Second one, straight into it. Didn't fall completely, but like just clattering into my
Is
shins.
there any footage of this going around?
No, of course there isn't. Camera phones weren't around then.
It was in black and white as well.
Yeah, of course. I'll just let you have that one. I knocked every single one over.
Oh, mate.
Every single one over. And I think probably had the record for the worst 110 metre hurdles on record. First and last time I did the hurdles was that. That was my first.
Wow.
Yeah. So I feel like this episode has started by me weeing on someone's head.
Yeah,
and
and finished with you eating sand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. All the best. God bless. Well, first
time. I've given you a couple of first times there. Please take some of the heat off me.
Okay. What about your first car? Because my first car was I was 18 and it was a new Fiesta, like gun silver, is that right?
Gunmetal grey, is it?
Gunmetal grey, yeah, something like that. Fiesta, Ford Fiesta, and it was great. I loved it. I had forever. Yeah, that was my first car. No, I wasn't. How old was I? I don't think I was 18. I think I maybe 22.
Yep.
When I passed my driving test. And I didn't pass first time, I passed third time. It's awful, right? So the first time I drove down they take you on a dual carriageway.
I don't think they do that anymore.
Oh, really? Oh,
They might do.
So it was like a dual carriageway anyway. And he put his hand on like the wheel as I was
on your leg.
on my leg, and he said, "Do you want to pass this test?
Do you want to pass this test, Carl?"
He put his hand on the wheel and he was like, "I'm just going to remind you that the speed limit is 30, not 40 here."
And this is on your test?
On my test. And I was like, I failed, haven't I? And he said, "Just take a left there." And I was like, I think I was going 35. Because when you like kind of join the speed of traffic?
Yes.
It was a bit like that. So that's how I failed my first one. My second one, I was with an Irish instructor who had a very thick Irish accent, which I couldn't really understand, is the truth. Yeah. And after the third time of asking him, "I'm really sorry, what did you say again?" I miraculously failed the test on not looking in mirrors. And I passed the third time.
How many minors? You get minors and majors. How many did you get?
They were all minors off him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I passed first time.
Did you?
30, I was.
Right.
I've been driving for long. And I played an absolute blinder with it.
Really?
I did a few lessons, because I had 20 lessons when I was like 17, because the first car...
So you my brother did that. He kind of already knew how to drive.
And then I didn't have to drive because I had a driver when I was on telly.
Such a douche.
I wish I'd passed sooner. It was the best thing I ever did. But I got into the instructor's car, and I had been on Emmerdale that week. And I sat in the car, and she went, "You just been on Emmerdale?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she turned her seat to face me, didn't look at one thing I did on that driving test, just talked to me about what Kane Dingle was like in real life. Never met him.
Passed.
But you know what I mean? And passed. No minors. I think my test was about 26 minutes. That was it. But first car, I got one.
So mine's a Ford Fiesta. A nice, safe, normal car for a first-time driver.
Yeah.
What was yours?
Does it matter?
Tell people at home.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
matters a lot.
Well,
Tell people at home what your first car, because you bragged about it enough to me. So tell people at home
I have never.
what your first car was.
It was a Porsche.
It was a Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
Fandabidosa.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. Technically, it wasn't. I did have a car before that. I had a Fiat Uno.
Yeah, but I had a driver that came with it.
No. But I didn't pass my test when I had the Fiat Uno. And then when I did pass my test, for a couple of months, I had a car that I drove around in. And I said to my brother, because we were touring quite a lot at the time, and I said to my brother, I really need something that's got a bit more space, something that I can maybe, fold the seats down and sleep in if I need to, if there's not, if I get tired on the side of the road. And he said,
Get a Porsche.
No, he said, get a campervan. And I said, okay, not a bad idea. And obviously my brother works in the motor trade. You're not going to know that. He does.
Yeah, of course. Of course, of course my brother works in the motor trade.
So he works, and obviously he was living in this country then. So he put me in touch with these people who make amazing VW campervans. I love them. They're fantastic.
Like the old 70s looking ones.
Yeah.
Right,
And it was all like, inside you could live in it. It had a cooker and a little fridge for food and a double bed. And
like the car in Dumb and Dumber.
No, not like the car in Dumb and Dumber. Absolute. Not like the car in Dumb and Dumber. So my brother's really put his neck out here. He's got me a great deal with these people. We're talking about what colour fabric I'm going to have the seats and all that. We're that far down the line.
Okay.
And then
they're expensive as well, aren't they?
Super.
You must have been on some good wedge in old Hollyoaks.
It wasn't that long ago. I was only 30. So we're talking, me and my brother, having dinner, just having a chat. And he says, how far down the road are you with the camper? And I said, I'm almost at a point where I think I'm going
to have to live in it.
Yeah.
That's how far we've gone. That's how much money they're going to take off me. It's
costing me an arm and a leg, but I'm like, this is perfect.
Taking my bed.
And because I don't know a lot about cars, I never knew anything about cars. I'm obsessed with them now. Yeah. Obsessed with them. But at this point, I knew nothing about them. And I just said to him, that's quite a lot of money, though, Bob, for a camper van.
Is his name Bob?
His name's Bob.
Right.
It's my brother, yeah. And Bob turns to me and he goes, oh, yeah, super money. He said, for that sort of money, you could have a Porsche. The next day.
You bought a Porsche?
Yeah.
Such a
Yeah. And, he came with me.
Do you ever regret it?
Not at all. It was so. I used to
Porsche
smile.
Was
it was obviously I just passed, so the insurance was so high. It was a little Boxster, really old one, 20 years old, but I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And when my brother took me to go and pick it up, because I couldn't test drive it because you can't get insurance on these cars to test drive them unless you've been driving for 12 months, and I hadn't. So he sort of drove it. And he got really angry with me for having a packet of crisps while he was driving. He's saying, Tom, you can't eat a packet of crisps in a car you haven't bought.
It's a Porsche.
And I was like, well, I'll buy it then. So that was that. And it was wonderful. Really, really wonderful.
Wow.
But that was technically not my first car because I had one when I was 17, but I never drove it because...
But technically your first.
Technically the first, yeah.
It's quite a first car, that is. You're like one of those rich kids.
I was lucky that I passed my driving test
when you were
I was
old.
30 because I'd never got insured on that. When I was 17.
So first car, first CD.
This is embarrassing.
Well, yours was a reel-to-reel. First reel-to-reel you ever bought.
First 8-track.
First vinyl on reel-to-reel.
It was cassette for me.
Oh, it really was.
But you want the first CD? I can give you the first CD.
No, cassette. First album, I guess.
It was like a summer compilation album. It had the Boo Radleys. Wake up, Boo. Da 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 da. Had Bananarama on it.
Brilliant. It's like a now hits kind of.
Kind of, but a summer one. First CD, Britney Spears.
First album was
Baby
Britney
One More Time.
Spears.
No, the single. I got the single.
A first album. What was your first album?
You're gonna kill me for this.
Go on.
I don't even think I can do it. And there's nothing wrong with Steps. The Steps album was my first album. And I swapped it with my brother because he got the South Park one.
For an
and he
ABBA
wanted
box set.
I got a great story for you about Mum. So it's not all about my brother.
Go
but
on.
me and my brother, we're in his room. Bear in mind, we're youngsters. Now I'm a little bit, I'm about 3 years older than he is. And we're talking about Steps.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I opened the question with, oh mate, which one out of Steps? And I was about to say, do you fancy the most?
And he just went Hitch.
Straight away. I think
I knew that was coming.
I think he thought I was going to say, oh, which, if you could be someone in Steps, who would you be? Or which
Right.
one do you like the most? Or who's the coolest? But I was like, mate, out of Steps, which one would you? And he went H. Yeah.
Sleep with. My first CD.
Save me from this episode of just being like me in the worst light as a darts
can't
playing
really.
Steps, listening to.
My first CD was my brother had bought Definitely Maybe and What's the Story Morning Glory, and I think he'd probably bought Word Gets Around. So my first CD, I believe, would have been Performance and Cocktails, Stereophonics.
I got a good one for you. Is that the one with Local Boy in the photograph in?
No, that's Word Gets Around.
Word
yeah,
Gets
that's
Around.
The first
So
one.
I went
this
to watch.
was about 2 years after.
I went to watch the Phonics in a bar.
Wow.
Yeah, it was right at the start of what they were doing. I went with a girl I was dating at the time called Laura,
Right.
and we watched the Phonics.
Years later, I took a leak on Laura.
Yeah, just in the middle of the night, I thought Laura needs to have her head weed on. And I had a cassette. We bought a cassette from them at the show,
Wow.
and the tracks were written on by hand.
And do you still have that?
She
'Cause
has
that,
it. She
that
has
would be
it,
worth
yeah.
some money.
Yeah, lost it in the breakup.
All right. Okay.
She broke up with me by, I think she got one of her friends to tell me she didn't want to see me
Oh,
anymore.
nice.
Yeah,
She
classic.
sounds like a treat.
Classic.
My first CD would have been Performance and Cocktails, and then my first gig was the Phonics.
Yeah.
They were, they still are, but they were a massive deal in Wales. They were like the,
Mate, they are, even now they sell
Yeah.
stadiums.
but they're like, they were, at the time they were, I think how old was I when I went to watch them? 11, 12, maybe. My brother took me to see them in a place called Morva Stadium in Swansea.
Yeah.
50,000 people.
Wow.
Unbelievable historic gig for Wales kind of thing. And name drop, but years later I became friends.
Wow.
Which is like,
And do you, at that point, do you say to them, I came to watch you when I was 11, or do you just...
the last time I saw the boys face to face was they'd come back to Swansea to play a show, and we went down to see him the day before. Glenn and I went down to say hello the day before, and I did say, I think I gave them the program or the itinerary or something which I'd had from that gig, and I could see the kind of that uncomfortable thing of when you talk to someone on their level, and then
you turn into a complete fan.
not just that, but they also realized that, like, God, he was like a kid when we were playing the biggest gig of our career. He was like a 9-year-old, 10-year-old. I think that kind of like made them feel a bit. I very quickly went, yeah,
you don't need to see that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because that's what I said to you the other week when you said you met up with Andrew Lincoln after you'd done the teacher's stuff.
Yeah.
So do you say anything to it?
No.
You know what I mean?
Not for him.
Not.
He genuinely wouldn't recall me. But the Phonics boys, I was a massive fan, and then obviously started songwriting, started doing gigs and stuff like that. And then you build a friend. I'm quite close with Jamie, the drummer. And I just got to know Kelly and Richard over the years of being at things that they were at, and shows of theirs and backstage and stuff like that. But it is a weird one when you.
I don't know.
I send Jamie demos. I was like, do you
like my stuff?
No, just like, do you think this? Shall I go in and record this? Shall I send this to the boys? Like, or Jamie and I will write songs back and forth.
Yeah.
With each other. So that's a weird one when. You know what I mean? No.
Yeah. Well, no. Kind of. I'm trying to think. But like the first gig I went to was the Lighthouse Family.
Okay, my mate Ryan plays drums for them now.
I dated a girl whose uncle was a trumpet player in the band, I think, as well.
Okay.
I can't remember. I've seen him a couple of times.
Right.
But they were the first gig I went to go and see.
Oh, no, wait. Maybe I'm thinking of a different band.
Because we are gonna
Oh, no,
be.
yeah, them. Yeah. What's the... Lightning Seeds are the other one that's kind of sounds like that, yeah.
So much so that I named a dog I had after the lead singer of the Lighthouse Family.
Oh.
Tunde.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a cool name.
Well, it's called Norman Tunde.
Oh, okay. But Norman...
I lost the argument for Tunde being the first name.
Right, okay.
But I thought, who's ever named their dog Tunde? What a great name.
No, yeah, it is a good name.
It's perfect name.
It is a good name.
I feel like your answers are a lot cooler than mine.
Well, I am cooler.
Yeah.
That'll be why. I mean, your first CD was Steps. First holiday?
You mean like, well, I've got talking about you mean holiday on your own where you got to the age where
First,
it was
yeah, like lads holiday.
again came quite late. I didn't do it when I was like 18. I was about 23, something like that.
Had they invented planes by this point?
Yeah. We booked it on the
Orient Express.
some of the details will be kept from this particular story, but I went to Magaluf.
Mate, you've just talked about weeing on an ex-girlfriend.
Wasn't
I
an
think you'll be
ex-girlfriend.
all right.
I would have been in the same bed as her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you went into her room?
Went into her room and weed on her.
Oh, that's
yeah,
just
in
brought
left
a
my
whole
room, went into
new-
her room, weed on her. She wasn't my girlfriend,
Wow.
which makes it even worse because I think
That's even, yeah.
if they love you, they kind of forgive you a bit more.
Okay. Wow.
Like I'd forgive you, I wouldn't forgive you. So anyway, I went to Magaluf with one of the guys. In fact, the guy who played my boyfriend on Hollyoaks, James.
Of course you did, yeah.
We went to Magaluf and we booked the holiday. We'd been out in Liverpool. We'd had a few drinks. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. And we got back and he went, "You should book a holiday." And I went, "Brilliant idea."
Yeah.
Found
Classic.
the number for Ice Lolly Holidays. Rang this woman.
What
We
are
were
they?
"Yeah, we want to go to Magaluf." What a stupid idea.
What's Ice Lolly
it's
Holiday?
like a teletext holidays
Oh,
or like a
Teletext.
teletext was a thing that existed before the internet on your television. And you could play
Right.
things like Bamboozled on it and
Okay.
stop it. I'm not old.
Go on with your Ice Lolly.
So we booked this holiday
Ollie.
really, really drunk. And then we got out there and realised that Magaluf perhaps wasn't the place for two people who were on television 5 nights a week, which we were at that time
All right.
in a very, very hard-hitting storyline. So it was pretty full on.
Was it?
Yeah.
Why?
Um,
People not being cool or what?
Yeah, I don't think go to Magaluf, which is a popular 18 to 30s holiday thing.
Why
if
were
you're-
you going there?
Sorry?
Why were you going there?
I was
You
20
must have been about 43 at the time.
22. I am not that old. Obviously, a lot of the details of that holiday will remain with me until
Secret. They
till I
invented
die.
mobile phones by that point?
Yeah, we had mobile phones. I
Camera phones? No.
don't think we had camera phones.
Right.
Don't think we had
Lucky
camera
you.
phones.
Lucky you, huh?
So first holiday, that was kind of my first and only. No, I went to Ibiza a couple of times, but I stayed on the side of the island where it was kind of quiet, and then I'd
Right.
sort of dip in if I wanted to have a little bit of lively.
I think I've never been to either of those.
Ibiza is a beautiful, beautiful country.
Right.
It's just it gets shown on TV.
Yeah, I
in
just
the-
picture like
It's not. I mean, it's half and half. You can have that if
Right.
you want, or you can have the really sort of relaxed, chilled, lovely sort of scenery
right. Okay.
if you want it as well. I think we kind of ruined it. The Brits went over there and just destroyed it,
Right.
like we did with Iron Appa. See all these people
Appa.
going, they're just coming over here and turning it into a nightclub and then leaving.
Where have I been? I've never done like a lads holiday.
You must have done.
I went once to Ireland with my brother and a bunch of his mates, and both my brothers, but my eldest brother kind of organises it. My dad came, a bunch of his mates, and what they do is they go when there's Six Nations are on.
Yeah.
They book a holiday that isn't where the game is because you can never get tickets to the game, and
It's expensive.
yeah, so they go to watch the game, but for the atmosphere of, obviously other teams are playing and stuff.
Yeah.
So went to Ireland, stayed in. My brother has he's very, very savvy, I guess, with money and stuff like that, and he booked the Conrad.
What's the Conrad?
The Conrad is like the posh hotel, so
okay. Okay.
like a Hilton kind of hotel, but the big,
That's the one to go to.
that's the one to
Okay.
go to. And we were staying in the Conrad. Wales were obviously playing in the day. They'd gone into the night. and found out that Kanye West was also staying in the Conrad.
Of course he was.
Because he was playing in the arena down the road. So at that point, I was like, I got to get an autograph for Claire. I got to take an autograph for Kanye back. Like it was like the gold digger time.
Yeah,
he was really big. I mean, he's big now, but I don't think I'd want to approach him anymore.
Yeah, potentially not.
And so kind of waited back in the lobby thing. Really quiet. The hotel was really quiet. It was just kind of us and Kanye and his touring musicians and his entourage. And essentially they wanted the bar for themselves. They didn't want any rowdy Welsh boys.
How many of you were there?
15 to 17 of us.
15
to
lads
17
from
Swansea lads. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why Kanye West might want
He
to
just wanted the bar on his own.
have a quiet drink on his own.
Yeah. I mean,
just take my
for
money.
for anyone that ever wanted to like punch Kanye,
Yeah.
This night it kind of nearly happened.
Really?
Well, yeah, it was awesome. So he didn't want to sign an autograph, and his bodyguards didn't want anyone near him. But that upset my middle brother. It really upset him to the point of him using some choice words
Choice.
to Kanye and his fam.
Okay.
And it escalated to the point of no return, really.
Excellent. And were the staff at the Conrad happy about this?
They weren't that bothered. I didn't think. I think they just thought, a little bit of ruckus. It's all right, isn't it? Kanye and his fam were not as pleased because I think they'd come over from America thinking we're the shiz.
Can I have a nice little drink in this bar?
Yeah. In all fairness to my brother, he never left his pint.
Okay.
No, he nearly like
through it, but yeah.
Yeah, he nearly killed Kanye and his mates, but didn't leave his pint. He wasn't going to spill his pint. He's from Swansea.
I can't imagine what it would be like to be in a bar and just Kanye West come in and go, do you
out?
Yeah.
Basically, it was like, all right, boys, time to drink up and go.
Yeah, you
No
don't say
one
that
was-
to 17
No one was
lads from
finishing their
Swansea.
drink.
Mm.
Anyway, so that was my
It's a
lads.
brilliant one. Brilliant
That's
one.
my lads' holiday.
Brilliant one.
Any other first times?
I'm trying to think.
First dates. Would you go on the program First Dates?
Okay, you've got different ones here. You've got where you would take. Where did you? Because
No, would you go on the program First Dates?
Or would I go on the program First Dates?
Yeah, like reality TV First Dates, the program. I know someone that went on First Dates.
Do you?
Yeah, and she went back. So she went on First Dates, and the guy that it must have been set up because the guy that, they picked to go to be on the date with her turned up, and she'd already dated him.
That happens quite a lot because they do actually do quite a lot of work on profiling the people that are on the show.
Right.
So they won't pick somebody who's from Scotland and somebody who's from Penzance and go, all right, okay, stick them together. Because if they really like each other, the chances of them being able to start something is quite slim.
Yeah.
So if two people from Swansea applied,
they'd try and...
there's a possibility that they may have met before.
She did get paired up with this bloke she'd already...
Yeah, I don't think I'd do a dating show now.
No?
I don't think it's...
Just worried they'd take a look at
we've
you and turn around.
We've pointed cameras at me here in
Marco Swansea.
And I've told quite a lot of things in this particular episode of the podcast that I can't take back. It'll play into your hands a little bit, though. You like this one. My mum a couple of years ago says to me, she goes, you should go on Love Island.
Oh.
And I had to have a chat with my mum and explain that the people that go on Love Island are 18 to 22.
So you
and at the time I was
20 years off.
Yeah, I was 10 years too old to go. I was like, I don't think that's going to work. Also, I don't really want to go on Love Island.
Okay.
I mean, it'd be a nice holiday, but it's not really a holiday if you're being filmed every single day of the week, is it?
I always wonder on that show, don't they give them 2 drinks and that's the limit so that they don't get rowdy or fight? Or
do you remember?
It's not like Big Brother, right?
Do you remember old Love Island?
No.
Love Island that was before the Love Island that is.
To be all the cards on the table, I don't even watch the new one. Claire loves it.
Yeah.
And to the point of had the water bottle. Although my mate James also had the water bottle. He got his missus to buy him the water bottle because he became obsessed with Love Island.
Excellent.
But shout out James, unlucky mate.
there was a Love Island before this Love Island.
Right. Okay.
You're going back maybe 12 years, 15
right,
years, something
okay.
like that. So
ITV.
yeah, maybe, I don't know. But it had
too.
like Callum Best and
Well, like celebrities.
Paul Denan and
Or
Fran
like
Cosgrove and
celebrities.
that type of thing.
Right.
And a few people from Hollyoaks way before I'd done it.
Oh, so is that why your mum said, would you go on Love Island?
I don't know whether she confused the two with me being able to go on the one where they're 18 to 20. But it was an absolute car crash of a show, but brilliant at the same time.
Right,
'Cause there was
okay.
no limit on the drinks. They were
Oh.
minor celebrities. Like, you knew who they were, but they'd go out and they'd just get absolutely hammered, and then they'd come back and fight with each other and scream with each other.
That's reality TV.
And
it
was you couldn't take your eyes off it. It was so good. I don't know whether it'd stand up now,
Yeah.
but it was good. You'd have like one of the Strictly Come Dancing dancers hitting one of the lads off Hollyoaks.
Really?
Yeah, they all
Wow.
went one flew over the cuckoo's nest while they were doing it. I remember it was brilliant. But there's a line in it, and it's Ricky Gervais has quoted it before when he's talking about one of his friends.
Okay.
So they were talking about this series of Love Island, and they had Paul Gascoigne's daughter, Bianca Gascoigne, was on it.
Yeah. Okay.
And she went on, and during the programme, they announced to her that Callum Best was coming in. And she went to whatever the diary room was, and she went, "Oh, Callum Best, he's like my all-time hero." And Ricky Gervais is talking about it, and he goes, "Your all-time hero is Callum Best."
Right. Okay.
I mean, he's only famous for what his dad's done.
Yeah.
And one of Ricky's mates went, "Yeah, but you could say the same for Jesus." Very
Brilliant.
good. Very good.
Bang.
Very good. I think with that...
Are we there? We're at it.
Yeah.
I want to talk about next episode. I really, really, really
We
want to
touched
talk
on reality.
about reality TV.
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay, because I'm a celeb is kind of
is
good to go.
potentially going to be in Wales.
I think
as
yeah. Well, yeah. It's if it goes ahead,
well.
it'll definitely be in Wales.
Amazing.
That to me is exciting.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
We'll do reality TV next week then.
Okay.
As always, is it Sontronics this week?
Sontronics this week, mate.
Is it?
No, it's not.
No.
Is it?
Who's? We don't.
One this week. We don't
No
have
one's
a-
sponsoring this week.
Thanks to
Marcos.
Yeah. Anyway, this week.
Thank you very much this
Thank
week to
you.
Marcos for having us one more time. As
Yeah.
always, thank you so much for watching. You can listen on iTunes. Leave a review. Leave a comment if you're watching it on YouTube.
Like the video.
Like
share
the video.
yeah.
Share the video.
Thank you
and
to our patrons.
patrons. If
Yeah.
you're not already, link is at the bottom now.
Yeah, you get some really cool stuff. And the mugs genuinely are cool.
They are vintage,
Yeah, I
metal,
like
sort
them a
of
lot.
reclaimed
Yeah.
vintage.
Eco-friendly.
Eco-friendly mugs. The postcards that are signed.
Yeah.
Video messages. It's all really, really good. Patreon link at the bottom. Thank you so much for watching episode number 7.
7, I think.
7.
Yeah, mate.
Fantastic.
Crazy.
Time for that very, very gentle mic drop.
Yeah.
But we will see you.
Lots of love. All the best. God bless.
Is that your like catchphrase?
Well, maybe.
It's very good. See you next Sunday, 7 o'clock. All the
Bye.
best. God bless.
This